Hey gamers, welcome back to Gamers Quest and our Pokemon Fire Red Nuzlock challenge. Excuse me. In our very last video, or I guess our first video for this particular challenge, we started our game, we caught some pretty decent Pokemon, I think, and gave them some really fun nicknames. I still think Peaches the Mankey and Planthony the Bulbasaur might be my favorite of the group. And then we got to Pewter City, trained up our Pokemon, and we beat Brock. So now we are ready to continue our adventure. I think today's goal is to try and get to Cerulean City with perhaps, and maybe beating Misty would be like the ideal. I don't know how well I'll be able to get that done. It kind of depends on time. It is currently 7:34 where I am. Hey, look, we got our running shoes from Mom. Thanks, Mom. You're the best. Well, there are a couple encounters for us. So there is the Route 3 encounter, the Mount Moon encounter, the Route 4 encounter. And then, depending on time, there are 2 encounters above Cerulean City. And I think that should be it for encounters for this one. I am going to let you know real quick that I actually had started recording this video earlier, but my recording software quit unexpectedly, and so I lost, like, I went back and I reloaded the save, but I lost about a half hour, and that was probably closer to 45 minutes. I lost about 45 minutes of recording, so there's some stuff that I talked about that I probably am not going to touch on again, but because I've played through this already once today, I'm probably just going to rush through it to the best of my ability. And you know what, maybe none of this even matters. Something that this ROM that I'm playing on doesn't have is a type of speed up feature. Like, a lot of ROMs or emulators that I know about have some sort of like speed up function so you can move faster through the game, but this particular one doesn't have it, and it's fine, but it certainly does making catching up to a certain point a little difficult. It's fine. It's not like we really got that far anyway. I talked a lot about all the different generations. I talked about Pikachu clones. I really didn't talk about much. And I only really got to like the entrance of Mount Moon before my thing cut out. I don't know why that took me 45 minutes. I know why it took me 45 minutes. I got up and I had to get some water and I got some things. That's why it was 45 minutes long. I feel like I didn't get very far, but I got up for a second so that I could eat a little and I could get some water, and I, you know, did things in my life. I'm actually still a little bit hungry, but that's okay. So maybe this will go by just a little bit faster this time around. Okay, we are now through those trainers, and we are now into our new encounter here. So there are 2 Pokemon on this route that we've actually caught before, and if you recall, we are playing with Dupe's Claws, meaning if we encounter a Pokemon we've already caught, we can re-roll that encounter. Maybe I need to set a limit for how many times I can do that. Fortunately, however, I think the most common Pokemon in this patch of grass is Spearow, which, me personally, I don't care for Spearow or Fearow, and if I had to catch one, I don't think I would use it. So here's hoping that I get a Nidoran. And I'm not sure which one I'd prefer, but I think if I had a choice, I would prefer Nidoran male. Just because I think Nidoking is a much stronger Pokemon versus Nidoqueen, but Nidoqueen is also strong as well. I mean, one of the fastest speedruns for an original Red game is one guy using a level 100 Nidoking. To be fair, he also cheated and glitched his way to do so. But that's why there's multiple forms of speedruns. So let's find our new Pokemon. Here's hoping. Yes! Nidoran! That is really what I was hoping for, and I didn't actually think I would get it. Okay, so let's be careful. We'll just do a quick attack. Perfect. Oh no. Poison point. Okay. That should be fine. Give it to me. Yes! Oh, I'm so happy that this was the first encounter on this route. Okay, now Nidoran needs a nickname, huh? Its large ears are flapped like wings when it is listening to distant sounds. It extends toxic barbs when angered. Does anybody else think that the first sentence is wrong? Its large ears are flapped like wings when it is... Maybe it's not wrong. It sounds wrong. Uke. It seems the most appropriate name. Okay, that makes me really, really happy. We got a really, really nice Pokemon to continue our run with. We're going to heal up our Pokemon here, and then we're also going to pick up our next Pokemon here because this will be... We're buying the Magikarp from the man in the Pokemon Center, and he needs a good nickname. We're going to go with Riptide. And it was transferred to the box. That's fine. We are going to pull it out, I think, because I'm thinking that maybe... Okay, so we went and switched out Riptide, or Wingman for Riptide. I know some of you are like, why would I do that to myself? Well, it's a good question. For a couple reasons, I switched them out. Gyarados is stat-wise pretty decent. Learns a decent move pool. It's not a bad Pokemon to have, especially so at such an early game. I don't think I'll be able to evolve it, though, at least until after our next rival battle. Beedrill, unfortunately, along with Butterfree, is not all that useful as the game goes on. And honestly, we really didn't use him all that much anyway. So Beedrill's out, but he'll be in reserve, just in case. And then we are also going to pick up the next Pokemon here too, because we get an encounter for Mount Moon. And it is statistically likely that this Pokemon we encounter inside Mount Moon will be Zubat. This encounter is actually a Zubat. If it is anything else, I'll be surprised. What did I tell you? It's a Zubat. And pretty happy about that. Here's hoping we don't get a critical and faint it, because... well, Daniel's only level 12. Maybe we won't. Could send out Duke or Riptide, but then I run the risk of fainting either of them. We're just going to go with a simple tackle. Okay. That's easy. We definitely would have fainted it, though, had it been critical. Easy. Easy. And now, Zubat needs a name. It has no eyes. Instead, it relies on its ultrasonic cries of our echolocation to flit about in the darkness. What shall we name our Zubat? Going with Brucey. Probably a really common nickname for a Zubat, but that's what I'm going with. Oh, so many creatures inside of Mount Moon. Why must you plague me with your annoyingness? Okay. I think we're gonna try and... I'm definitely gonna do some training in here, where we need to get Riptide up to level 20 as fast as possible, although we're going to have to hold off as much as we can. Excuse me. Why did I go outside? I don't remember why I went outside. Okay, so I actually went and did a little bit of training. I wanted to see how far I could get without, losing my mind a little bit. We didn't get as far as I wanted. I did get Riptide up to level 12. And that might be all the best we can do for the moment. I mostly just fought a bunch of wild Pokemon. And, hey, look, a rare candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Oh, I did not want to fight this guy. No, that's fine. That's fine. I know I probably could have gotten more experience out of fighting the trainers, but I want to reserve the trainers for, funner stuff. Trainer battles are always the ones you might actually lose out on. But, no, I went and trained up a bit. I got Duke and Brucey all the way to level 13. Planthony went up 1 level. I think Peaches went up 1 level. And I think Daniel went up 1 level or something like that. So, we're doing pretty good on levels. I gotta be a little careful here, because obedience is still a thing in these games. So, I have to... need to be watching what I'm doing. Hey, we got to level 14 now. Part of me's thinking maybe we need to just cut our losses just a little bit and move through. I guess we're not cutting our losses, we're just moving through, is all. Yes. You know, I still haven't encountered a shiny yet, which I know encountering a shiny is pretty low odds regardless. But it's one of those things, I fought a lot of wild Pokemon in this run so far. I feel like it should have happened, maybe. But I suppose 1 out of 8,000 is, you know, maybe too much to ask for. Hey, look at that. We got our first moonstone. I do like moonstones. My cursor is in the middle of the page there, huh? Yeah, so I don't think we're cutting our losses, but I am thinking that we should just move on before I get too over-leveled here, because I can only get to level 18 for the rival battle, which obviously I'm still several levels away, and I definitely want to be fully prepared to win that fight without losing anybody. But I think I spent a lot of time here in Mount Moon. I think it's time to just move forward and call it a day. We also are getting our first look at Team Rocket in Mount Moon here. Something I will say concerning Pokemon games in general. Generation 1 games, the Kanto region, the very first Pokemon game, Red, Blue, Fire Red, Leaf Green, all that. It has what might be... I want to make sure I word this correctly. Generation 1 and the Generation 3 Kanto games have a pretty decent story compared to all of the other main series Pokemon games. I've never really played any of like the secondary series of games. Like I've played bits and pieces of things. Like I played Pokemon Snap, I played Stadium. I remember playing. There was a couple on the GameCube. There was a lot of different things. There was a Gale of Darkness was one of them. But as far as main series games go, Generation 1 and the Generation 3 Kanto games, Fire Red, Leaf Green, have a pretty good story, I would say. It's not the best, I will admit, because I know that people jump so hard to the defense of the Kanto region games. Specifically Blue and Red, the old Game Boy Color games. And to a degree, I will say, I will agree at least, that I'm very nostalgic for those games, and I didn't think they could ever top them. And then I played Generation 5, Black and White. A lot of people, and maybe this is just my perception of of what happened during the release of the Generation 5 games, I felt like many people didn't care too much for the Generation 5 games, Black and White, or Black 2, White 2. And I don't know why that is, or why that's my perception at least, but me personally, I owned both White and Black. It, to me, hands down, probably has the best story of any mainline Pokemon series games. I would say it absolutely takes the cake on having the largest single regional Pokédex of any main series game. I think it tops out at 154, which isn't that much over the original Kanto games, but still, it was the only generation that released more Pokemon in its regional decks than the original game did. And except for like 2 Pokemon out of that generation, the larger majority of them were excellent. Design-wise, stat-wise, they were all very well put together, in my opinion. The starters, I will say that Samurott was a little lacking. I wish it would have been a dual type. It could have been a really cool water and something other type. I don't know what you could have made the other type. Generation 4 did just have the water steel starter, so I don't think steel would have been a good option. Maybe you could have done water rock, which I know is a very common Pokemon type, is water rock. Maybe that's wrong. Water type. Let's see. Samurott and the Oshawott line are otters, basically. So, anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed the games because I started when I pre-ordered both of them at the time, and when I picked up both of them, I also picked up another DS at the time, so I had 2 DSs to play with. So I started out that game, and I had all 3 starters to begin with, because I wanted to experience all 3 of them. Moonstone. I wanted to experience all 3 of them firsthand in a single playthrough. And I'm going to say something way controversial. The Fire starter from Generation 5 is awesome. I realize that it is another fire fighting starter type. Hey, stop. I found these fossils. They're both mine. I realize and understand that it is another firefighting type, and that maybe the design of Emboar maybe wasn't the best for, like, design maybe didn't fit the fighting aesthetic. However, Emboar is an excellent Pokemon. It's surprisingly, the one I had at least, was surprisingly fast. It hit hard and it could take hits. I'm not saying it was a perfect Pokemon, but it was really, really quite decent. Plus, it's one of the few starter shinies that I actually really like. A lot of shinies for starters are they're lacking to me. The Squirtle becomes like a purple and green color, which I guess is fine. It bothers me somehow. I don't know. Venusaur gets like this lighter green and gold. Charizard at least looks pretty badass for a shiny. But Emboar went with like a blue fire aesthetic, and I just thought that was really, really cool and really well done. So yeah, I said it. Emboar, in my opinion, is probably better than Infernape and Blaziken. And if you don't like it, well, too bad. Don't get me wrong. Blaziken's design, Blaziken's stats, and stats spread, I think is very well done, especially for the game he's in. I think Emboar is way better. Serperior, which was the grass starter, is just grass. Overall, is a fast Pokemon. I remember it being, I remember it couldn't take hits very well, but it could deal damage like it was nothing else. So I do remember Serperior being at least strong enough to deal damage, if not take damage. But, and then Samurott could hit hard, and it took hits, but it was very slow. I don't remember Samurott actually having that great of a move pool, and maybe that's just how it worked out for me, I don't know. But yes, the Generation 5 games and Fire Starter were truly excellent. The legendaries made a lot of sense. Even the mythicals, which were Meloetta, Keldeo, and I think there was another one, wasn't there? Why am I not fighting this thing? Why am I dying to this coughing? I don't understand. Okay, we're gonna send out... I'm gonna send out Peaches. The character of N, who was kind of the antagonist throughout the whole game, he had a really compelling story arc. Getsis, who was the actual bad guy, was a good bad guy, and you knew he was the bad guy, you saw it coming, but kind of a challenging fight at the end. I don't know, the Generation 5 story was just really, really well done, and I will fight tooth and nail that Generation 5 was the best main series game. Okay, we get one choice of fossil here, guys. Who do we want? So we could do the dome fossil, which I believe is... I think it's Kabuto. Or we could do the Helix fossil, which is Omastar. Omanite, I'm sorry. Both of them are a little... I can't use them until we get to Cinnabar Island. Who's going to be more useful? They're both water rock. Oops, ran into a Pokemon. Dumb Zubat. I run from you. Okay. Stupid Pokemon. You know, if I was playing live, I could throw up a poll and say, hey, what do you think? Make the decision. But I'm going with the Dome Fossil, mostly because the Dome Fossil was what I picked when I originally played this game, and I thought Kabutops was pretty decently designed. I thought overall, at the time I didn't really understand the significance of stats, because let's see, I think Pokemon Red came out in 1997 or 1996. My apologies. I misquoted that. Pokemon Red and Blue came out in North America in, came out in North America in 1998, September of that year, actually. So at that point, I was 1998 September. Yes, I was 7 years old at the time. My brother, my older brother, who actually has his own channel, if you're ever curious, maybe I'll leave a link down in the description, but my brother owned Pokemon Blue, so I decided to get Pokemon Red. So that way we could do some trading and we could be ourselves or play our own games or whatever. Hey look, we made it to Cerulean City. That only took us an hour, give or take. But he had blue, I had red, so that we could trade and we could do all that stuff. But when I was that age, I think we actually picked up our first games when I was 8. So I don't think I was actually 7 when I got them. But I didn't understand the significance of stats or types or any of that stuff. I just kind of played the game. I didn't get it. I was too young to really understand the subtleties of the game. Okay, so I have a question that I'm going to answer here. So if we go into our Pokemon here, I think I talked about this previously, but if you go into a Pokemon's summary, on the first page here, it'll tell you in the trainer memo line what nature you have and what route you met them on. So we met Nidoran at Route 3, Route 22 for Peaches, Pallet Town for Planthony, Route 4 for Riptide, Route 1 for Daniel, and Mount Moon for Brucey. Okay. Decision. Okay. Here's the rule. As far as catching a single Pokemon on one route, I'm gonna follow this line here. So Riptide, this Magikarp, we met in Route 4 at level 5. Which means that, as far as I'm concerned, I can't catch a Pokemon on Route 4 any longer, which is this route, as you just saw. So as much as I would love to go in the grass here to catch a new Pokemon, because I could consider it a new encounter, since technically the Magikarp I bought, I think it's better for the run that I don't. I think, in a way, if I caught a Pokemon on that route, I would be cheating somehow. So, we're passing. Let's see. I don't want to get too far up here, because if we go too far up this direction, we have to get into the rival battle, and I think I want to do a little bit more training before we do so. However, there is a rare candy back here that I want, so we're going to pick up said rare candy. Haha! I found you! Okay. So, let's go do some more training really, really quick. Okay. So I finally finished up my training. Fortunately, we didn't lose anybody, but I got everybody up to level 17 minus Riptide. He's taking a little long, in my opinion, but we will get him to a Gyarados before too long here. Wondering if I shouldn't or should evolve Duke from... So we did get 2 evolutions. Planthony evolved, or Bulbasaur evolved to Ivysaur, and Nidoran evolved into Nidorino. I would train more, but it's just not going to be possible, unfortunately. I think Okay. So I made the decision here to not evolve my Nidorino into a Nidoking just yet. Yes, I could get the nice health boost. Yes, I could get the nice stat boost. However, Nidoking does not learn 2 moves level up wise once you have him. One of them is at level 22, the other is at 43. So, as much as I want to have Nidoking, we're going to not do that. And instead, we do not have a good Pokemon. We do not have a good Pokemon for fighting this Pidgeotto that our rival has. Oh goodness gracious, I'm nervous. This is the first battle I usually have where I actually faint Pokemon, or I lose Pokemon. Rattata is probably the wrong choice to send out to fight this Pidgeotto. So let's send out Duke. Might be the best option. I don't like it, but we're gonna do it. Okay. I'm doing great. I caught a bunch of Pokemon. A bunch of strong and smart Pokemon. Here, let me see what you got. He's so smug. Well, we're gonna wipe the floor with him, I hope. Fighting is not really good. Do we want to try and do a little bit of setup here? Gotta be... Oh, Sand Attack. That is the worst. Sand Attack is just... Oh, and it keeps going with the Sand Attack. This is not cool. Okay, though, we hit with the Peck. That's good. That's good. Ooh, nice. Despite 3 Sand Attacks, we actually hit. Oh, we may have to switch out... Oh, 4 now. Nice. We might actually do okay here. I don't know how... The RNG gods were on our side for that, because there's no way I should have been able to win that so easily after 4. Yeah, 4. They're just... Yeah, no way. Come on, Daniel. Let's do it. This is Abra No Confusion. It does... Maybe it does... Hyper Fang. Maybe this Abra just knows Teleport. Man, wouldn't that be great if we caught an Abra? No guarantee would ever happen, but... Okay, well, Abra's down for the count. He'll be a problem later. Sending out Charmander. Okay. The Charmander should have evolved by now, dude. You know, there was actually a really common belief when I was younger. And me and my brothers, we followed it to the letter because we believed it to be true. There was a belief that if you waited to evolve your Pokemon instead of at the standard level, So like Charmander evolves at level 16. There is a popular or common-ish theory. Man, I am not doing so hot here. We're gonna have to switch out again. Peaches, do your worst. But there was this common belief that if you waited like an extra 5 or 10 levels, how does it keep burning me? This is not going well at all. And I can't send out Planthony. We're gonna have to... Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Peaches. Peaches, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do now. Ugh, this is not going well at all. Alright, as much as I'm loath to do this... Nope. Okay. I think we're gonna lose 2 Pokemon in this fight. This Charmander is kicking our butts. We're gonna send out Zubat. Yeah. Fortunately, Zubat is everywhere, so we can actually catch another one later. But I've gotta heal up Daniel a little bit, because I feel like it's the only way to get her done. Okay. Daniel, do not fail me now. Okay. Thank God for Daniel. I could have saved Brucey, and I could have just sent out Daniel and done Quick Attack and had it be over with. But I wasn't sure that Daniel's Quick Attack was going to be enough. I couldn't be sure. Oh, that is very, very sad. What is happening? Fame checker. I don't know what that item is. I don't ever recall that item being a thing. Okay. Well, it had to happen eventually. But we are officially down 2 Pokemon. Going back to the party. So we lost Peaches. You will be remembered, Peaches. And Brucey, you too will be remembered. I could have played smarter, I could have played better, and I just didn't. Okay, renamed that box Dead. So we know which one. So we know which box is for the bravely fallen. I'm so sorry, Peaches. I'm so sorry, Brucey. Well, we still have Beedrill. And we still have Peach. So we'll be okay. We'll be just fine. I do not want to continue operations. Okay. Well. Okay, guys. I think that'll do it for this video here. We experienced some hardship. we did some training. We didn't get as far as I had hoped, but certainly got farther, or certainly got to where I wanted to. I wanted to get to at least Cerulean City, and I wanted to at least fight Gary, Brady, whatever his name is. Sadly, we've lost 2 members, but we will move on. Perhaps we can find another Mankey somewhere. If you guys like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button for me and like the video, and leave some comments down below. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts, or maybe you just want to tell me I should be playing better. I should have sacrificed a different Pokemon instead of Brucey. But Zubats are everywhere. We will find another Zubat before too long. So, yes. That will do it for this one. And as always, I will catch you next time. Huzzah!